Okay, so today we're going to go over the 360 camera tutorial. It's called the Insta360. It comes in a pretty hard-shelled case. Open it up, it's got some foam. Push it off to the side. It comes with its own iPad to catalog all your photos, and we'll go over how to work that. It has the app that's associated with the camera. This is the camera. This lens right here is really sensitive, so you don't want anything touching that lens. So make sure it's in its case properly when you put it back. But here's the camera. Here's your extra batteries. Battery compartment is on the side. Marked battery. Just kind of flip the door open and you can use this little tab to pull the battery out. Put this back in its case. What else we got here? We got the power supply, the USB cord, another plug. We have a stick where we can hold the camera by hand. And we have the tripod where we can set it up in the room. Another smaller stick to use. Okay, we're gonna set up the tripod. Notice when you put it up, open up the first part of it, there's a little leveling bubble. You wanna make sure the bubble's in the center of the red circle. And then you can either use two of the sticks. This one's a little shorter, but it's got like a little adapter. Screw it on like that. And then the camera itself has another adapter that you would just screw on. Try not to touch the lens at all. So any fingerprints is going to affect the quality of the photos. So you're ready to start shooting some photos. Okay, so now we're going to show you how to connect the camera to the iPad and get started with shooting your video. First, you would hold down the bottom button until the blue light comes on. Let that load. And at the same time, you would go to your Wi-Fi settings, turn it on, and it should come up. Yes, 1x. That's what you're going to be looking for, so it automatically syncs up with it. So now you're ready to shoot some photos. All right, so before shooting your photos, there's a couple things you want to keep in mind. Your first shot, say we're going to be in the corner of the room. You always want to leave it, if you got a room with a door or you're doing multiple rooms, leave the door open. And then your next point, your next photo to get in that room, you always want it to be in line with the first one. You don't want to go completely to the opposite where it's obstructed. So it'll pick up more photos along the way. So just remember, the first photo's got to be in line with the second one. And yeah, let's see what happens. You also want to remember that you want to have adequate lighting so the camera can pick up as much detail as possible. And when you do get to the point where you're taking your photo, you want to make sure you're not in the room when the photo's taken. Okay, so now that we've connected it to the Wi-Fi network by selecting the 1x, which it automatically does, go to the home screen, hit Capture app. So now these are other projects, so you'd want to hit the plus for a new one. It's just putting in the address for this exercise. We'll just do 4640 New Design Road. Hit save. Okay, so now this is the screen where we're ready to take our first shot. Come over here, hit the bottom button, hold it down, wait for the blue light to turn green. All right, so now it's green. We're ready to set it up for our first shot. We generally like to put it in the corner of a room. That way we can get multiple points. And the next step is to take the picture. Okay, so now that we're outside the room, let's go ahead and take the picture. So we know it's connected, it's got the 1x. If it doesn't say 1x on it, you want to go back to Wi-Fi to make sure it's connected. Okay, it's scanning. Yeah, this part takes a little bit of time, but you got to wait. Just wait for it to be done and you'll be able to see your picture. That's when you know the coast is clear to go back inside. Okay, it's our first shot. So it's in the corner of the room. So you see these black areas. These are the areas that you want to move for your next points. So we can get that filled in, and then eventually you'll have the whole room lit up. That means you got the whole room taken pictures of. All right, most importantly, our next point, it's got to be in line where the other camera was so we can see it. So you don't want to go too far away, so we'll go ahead and move it over to here. So it's definitely is in line with where it was previously. Let's go ahead and take another picture. Okay, let's go ahead and take our second shot, which is actually our second point. As you can see, number 1 is our first point. Scanning. And again, make sure you're outside the room, out of the sight of the camera. So any type of movement is going to affect the quality of the shot. Okay. There it is. Okay, so now you see how the room is lit up a little bit more. So you can actually hit number 1 and you can see from that first shot. Okay. Go to 2. And it goes from that shot. Yeah, look at us. We're still in the shot, but it really didn't affect it too much. But yeah, you always want to make sure it's in line with the last one. So let's do one more over in this corner because it's kind of still grainy and black. So let's go do shot number 3. All right, so let's do our last shot for the room. Like I said, we're going to do the little black area. We went ahead and moved it already. Go ahead and hit the photo button, let it load. And this will give us 3 different points in the room, which should give us a pretty good understanding of how that room is lit up. And if there was like a panel on a specific wall, you could take another shot that actually shows that wall a lot better for prefab, for measurements. Yeah, because you can do multiple pictures. There's no limit on how many pictures you can do in the room. Ones like this give you like a general area, but if you really want detail, you can get up close. Okay, so now you got a full visual of the room itself. So you got 3 over here. That's great. So the reason why it's black there, because it's literally like right underneath the camera. You really don't need that. So that's pretty much in a nutshell how the 360 camera works. Okay guys, this is really important. If you got multiple rooms that you want to take pictures of, make sure you get points with the door open with the pathway. Otherwise it's just going to look like the same room over and over again. And you're not going to be able to differentiate the two. So you always want to make points like a pathway to your next room. Okay, the last thing you're going to do once we get all the points done, go ahead and hit upload. No internet connection. So we would have to validate our Wi-Fi. We just go to settings, go to Wi-Fi, hit FBH wireless, check mark. Let's go back to our capture, upload. Upload with marks. Let's just do upload with marks. As you can see, it's marked as we named it, modified June 16th, which is today. Check mark, so it's in the cloud. So in a nutshell, that's how it goes. Okay, and lastly, we're gonna pack everything up at the end of using it, and then make sure that we charge the iPad on the side. That way, when the next foreman or crew leader needs to use it, everything's ready to go. Batteries for the camera. You know, there's a little cable up to it with the USB. Then it comes with the plug where you plug the USB into this, plug that into the wall. Make sure everything's charged up for the next person so it saves time.